Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and there's one thing I've noticed, there's two things I've noticed lately. One is that my X feed, which is in read-only format, because I still do not have access to post on X, my read-only feed is being flooded with videos and information about all the lies that have been told to everybody in this country and in the world for decades. Flooded with it. Another thing I'm noticing is every once in a while Forbes keeps writing a new version of kind of this kind of theme, and it's always an article that doesn't say much of anything other than it's giving you a theme of the fact that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP price is going to blast off. Like here it says, China and the Fed to flood the world with trillions. Traders suddenly brace for extreme predicted Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and crypto price swings. Look down here, it says, now as rumors fly around, Bitcoin's worst kept secret, legendary Bitcoin and crypto trader Arthur Hayes has predicted China is about to flood the world with yuan credit, something he thinks will flow into hard monetary assets like Bitcoin. Could get interesting, and this article is from yesterday, so I'm really curious about what these things are that are being floated. Now, this is very interesting. Yesterday there was two older videos of Brad Garlinghouse, and I've looked for this top video before and I can't ever find it, but this 801 XRP guy found it. What this is this is Brad Garlinghouse when he was at AOL, and they had created a whiteboard and drawn all kinds of things to kind of symbolize the journey that AOL had gone through. And it's very interesting, a couple of things that are on the board. It's worth watching about a couple of minutes of this.
Stanford students here, and just showed them some of the environment that we're doing, that we've made here, that I think also contributes to a much more collaborative and hopefully innovative environment. We then walked them through kind of an interesting thing, a timeline of what has happened in the applications and commerce group since we split from Time Warner back in December of 2009, and it kind of walked them through some major events as we went. Obviously, a big thing that happened in this group is we sold ICQ, created a lot of cash on the balance sheet we were very obviously able to use for other things. We launched some apps with the iPad.
Now let me tell you what, folks, this right here, if you've been here for a while, sure does look like some of those photos of that bearable guy figure that we've seen in XRP. I mean, I never have really covered much of that, the riddles and all that stuff, but I can still tell you it sure does look like that figure.
A couple of key hires. And we also talked about how we're already starting to see some of the core product improvements reflect improvements in metrics. So not just sizzle, but also the stake. So one of the things that some of you are aware, we've done a couple of iterations in launching im.aol.com, our smartphone portal. And we've seen traffic to the smartphone portal increase by over 100%, nearly 110% in the past 10 months. So again, it's just kind of proof that if you build better products, you'll see kind of that the consumers react to that.
Garlinghouse is just a baby in that.
So they talked about kind of some major changes, moving into the Palo Alto office, the Thing Labs, Brizzly.
There's a bear again, and there's a phoenix, right? A rising phoenix. It does make you wonder. Now, it doesn't make you wonder as much as this video makes you wonder, though. This is from notfinancialadvice.crypto, who is the official guy who created the greatest Ripple video of all time. Check this out. He says, just a crazy coincidence. Well, you know what we say about coincidences here.
And AOL has hired former Yahoo executive Brad Garlinghouse to run the company's email group and beef up its presence in Silicon Valley. Garlinghouse might be best known for calling attention to major problems at Yahoo in a 2006 internal memo. That paper was referred to as the Peanut Butter Manifesto because it claimed the company had spread itself too thin. Since then, Yahoo has changed CEOs twice. Since leaving Yahoo last year, Garlinghouse has been an advisor at private equity firm Silver Lake Partners. And coming up, is it time to ditch the dollar? The United Nations calls for a new global currency. So could this herald the biggest overhaul of the world's monetary system since World War II?
Oopsie. Then Ripple was wrapping up Swell. They wrapped up Swell, and this is their video, kind of summary video.
The opportunity is real. These are technologies that will change the world and how the world operates, particularly around finance.
It's really about the next era of the internet. It means the ability to tokenize and represent anything of value, move them around the world, what we call an internet of value.
The whole premise is to embrace technology and innovation, but be compliant.
Dubai is the hub of hubs, providing all the elements of the ecosystem that support those startups to grow and thrive.
The energy here is really remarkable. It's because the regulators have created an environment that's very conducive to new projects, entrepreneurial spirit.
Blockchain is the future. Tokenization is the future. What we're seeing is a more mature world out there for digital assets.
With custody, can you then get into value-added services? Can you then go into payments, tokenization, and other streams? Custody, therefore, creates a service that your clients will appreciate.
We have correspondent banks as stakeholders, we have regulators as stakeholders, and I think the on-ramp, off-ramp piece is a huge part of that.
Blockchain plays a very important role in solving some of the issues that we're seeing, whether that's around climate and water technologies or around financial inclusion.
With thousands of these conversations that are happening here over these 2 days, they will get converted into intention and intention into action. That's what Ripple is here for, to enable that ecosystem to succeed.
We're at a crossroads for crypto and blockchain to be integrated into all of the system. We got to step back and realize these are technologies that will change and improve people's lives.
Wow, well done. I think Charles Hoskinson may have had a little slip up here. This one right here might catch up to him. Not good.
Charles, when people ask you, what business are you in, what do you say?
I used to say I print money for a living.
Not good. Uh-oh. Mike Novogratz is back on the scene. He's betting dimes to donuts.
Bitcoin, for its own part, has rallied to just above 38,000, and it has been flirting with that price right now. Where do you think it ends the year, or next year, rather, at this pace?
You know, listen, there's a bunch of good things happening for Bitcoin, right? We are going to get an ETF. Right now, there's a lot of anticipation. Some of that's built into the price. When you actually get the ETF announcement, there's probably still 2 months before it starts trading. And then once it starts trading, we'll see if BlackRock and ourselves with Invesco and ARK and all these other institutions, Fidelity, have their sales forces out and are convincing people to adopt Bitcoin, the price is going to be significantly higher, especially at a time when the Fed is probably cutting rates. And so could we go to old highs by this time next year? Of course we could. And could we go higher? We'll see. You know, you have to remember prices are set on the margin, and there's not that many sellers of Bitcoin. Right, we're going to have the halving next year, which means that the daily supply or inflation rate gets cut in half. And so you really are setting up for a wonderful story. We're also going to an election year, and that uncertainty should help Bitcoin.
They ought to call it a fake election year.
The fact that the U.S. and Europe and Japan still can't come close to fiscally being responsible. is why people got invested in Bitcoin in the first.
So he's betting dimes to donuts that Bitcoin will, there will be the Bitcoin ETF, which usually means that someone has told him that they're going to approve it. So that's kind of how he rolls. But what I wanted to show you is, since Mike Novogratz is the authority on who good and bad actors are in the industry, because he's, of course, is one of the good actors, right? She's getting him to weigh in on Binance and FTX, and the notable thing is that in almost every single one of these, whatever you want to call them, frauds or whatever, Mike Novogratz always seems to be there. He seems to be involved somehow. And then when it's over, he acts like he's a third party bias. I'm not saying he was involved in the fraud. I'm just saying when it's over, oh yeah, you know, we all got had or whatever, and that's kind of how it always ends. And then they go to him like he's the authority on it. Guess what? You ought to come ask the digital asset investor, because I was never involved in any of them. Maybe I should be the authority and not Mike Novogratz. In fact, I know a lot of people that are more XRP centric that haven't been involved in any of that kind of stuff. Why aren't they going to interview? Why isn't she going and interviewing Brad Garlinghouse about, yeah, Ripple, they never seem to be involved in any of this stuff. Yeah, Ripple, we kind of fly straight. We're very transparent. We're very above board. We don't get involved in all these shady things. Instead, they go to Mike Novogratz as the go-to man.
The admissions of guilt in some really scathing.
While his buddy, his good buddy Joseph Lubin, still has all those disguised Ethereum whales, and nobody seems to be interested in that.
Allegations, including aiding of money laundering and even working with sanctioned nations in certain cases. How do you think about what exchanges you're working with those kinds of financial and regulatory risks tied to them?
Listen, we have a pretty thorough process of looking at who we deal with, and we're also reasonable, right? If you went through the list of TradeFi banks who have been sanctioned or fined by the different regulators in the last 24 months, so not going back 20 years, 24 months, it's a shocking list, right? And so you're not looking for zero mistakes. Otherwise, there'd be no one to deal with. We're looking for people that take their job responsibly. I think the Binance settlement was great for their company and great for the industry. I wish Richard well. I think they're de-risked in lots of ways, right? People who were worried about dealing with Binance, there's a lot less to worry about now, right?
Well, when it comes to Binance, do you...
Okay, enough from him. Now, I also wanted to show you this. 7 spot Ethereum ETFs have been filed. BlackRock, Fidelity, VanEck, Grayscale, etc. These institutions all want in. My question is, why do none of these institutions, why are they all ignoring the one digital asset that has legal clarity? Bitcoin does not, Ethereum does not. BlackRock, Fidelity, VanEck, Grayscale, where you at? Grayscale even had an XRP trust that they ended when the lawsuit dropped, and now it's over, and they won. XRP has legal clarity. They know what the rules are, and they didn't even ramp back up the XRP trust. A lot of shady stuff in this business, folks. Okay, now we're about to go into the DAI XRP group. Now I want to tell you something, folks. Yesterday I saw something that I have been following the news and politics and crypto, and, well, not crypto when I say decades, but I've been plugged in for decades on what's going on in the United States of America, all in politics and everything else, and then crypto since 2013. I saw something yesterday I have never seen. And it has everything to do with crypto. To me, it has everything to do with, I mean, we're literally, our country is literally being run by worse than mobsters at this point, is what we're dealing with. And it's 3/4 of our government. As far as I can tell, it's at least 3/4 of it. And we're going to tie it all together, and we're going to tie it in. But I'm going to show you what I saw yesterday, which I've never seen in my entire life. and it tells you just how close that we're getting to some of these people. The only way this country is fixed is if some of these people start going to prison and worse, because that's what we're talking about. It's not fixed. So I don't care who it is, whoever you are that ends up becoming president, you're not going to fix this country unless people start going to prison, and that's just a fact. So it's DAIXRP.com. That's where we're going to talk about it. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. It's prison or worse, or we don't have a country. We just have a country where mobsters run the country, and that's just the way it's going to be. And all the good people need to find somewhere else to live because it's done. All right. Here we go.